Greg Tang is the master of math puzzle books. Math-terpieces, his fifth book, was published in 2003. It does not have a narrative story structure. Instead, it showcases a series of painting masterpieces and then gives puzzles based on those pieces of art. Here's the page dedicated to Monet. You see a reproduction of one of his pieces at the top of the page, followed by a brief, clever title for the piece. On the sidebar, you can see the title of the piece, White Water Lilies, the date, 1900, and of course, the artist, Claude Monet. Beneath the title, you have a poem of the form AABBCC. The first 4 lines describe the picture, and then the last 2 transition you over to the next page. Let me read this one. Claude Monet once grew quite fond of poplars, haystacks, and a pond. His little brush strokes colored bright, captured them in different light. Try grouping lilies to make 8, 4 smart ways would be just great. And you can hear that last couplet is going to take us over here and tell me that I am looking for 4 different ways to group these lilies into 8. So, looking over here, I can see that this group of 5 and this group of 3 would make 8. The group of 5, 2, and 1 would make 8. 6 and 2 equals 8. And of course, the last one is 4, 3, and 1. At the very bottom of this page, you can also see, perhaps, that there is the title of the art movement that this piece belongs to. This same pattern is repeated with 11 other artists. Degas, Renoir, Cezanne, Van Gogh, Seurat, Matisse, Picasso, Mondrian, Dali, Pollock, and Andy Warhol. Here's the page for my favorite in this book, which is Dali. You can see again that same setup as I just showed you in the Monet one. Here the title is Time Warp, and let me read it to you. Is it a dream or is it real? It's hard to know when art's surreal. Dali's clocks, once so precise, now they're melting just like ice. Find 7 ways to make an 8. Group the clocks, it's getting late. So then we would have this page to look at to find your 7 ways to make an 8. In the back of the book, of course, for those of us who might have a little bit more difficulty with this or just want to check our answers, are in fact the answers. They are written in both descriptive form as well as pictorial form. At the very end, there's a section called Art Notes, which gives us a little bit of information about each of the art movements that's mentioned in the book. At the beginning of the book is an author's note that gives a little bit more information on exactly what Tang was trying to accomplish with this book. Let me read it to you. Author's note. Mastering any skill, whether it's music, sports, or math, takes practice. Lots of practice. But for kids to enjoy practicing, it has to be challenging and fun. In writing books for children, my goal is to create math problems that teach, challenge, inspire, and entertain, all at the same time. In this book, I have designed problems that help children ages 5 to 10 master 2 important skills. For younger children, the focus is on addition. I use groupings of objects instead of written numerals to make adding visual and less abstract. Children learn to add 2 or more groups at a time, which teaches them to think about numbers and pieces, the key to arithmetic. For older kids, the focus is on improving problem-solving skills. The problems are based on combinations and permutations from probability theory, and challenge kids to think strategically. They learn to save time and effort by being systematic in their approach. For kids of every age, the problems offer an introduction to art history. I have combined math and art with several objectives in mind. The first is to create visually interesting problems. When teaching children, we need to communicate in ways that are engaging and clear. Here, I use famous paintings to add graphical interest and appeal. The second objective is to create a learning environment that stimulates both analytical and creative thinking. Being good in math requires not only good technical skills, but also the ability to apply them in innovative ways. Finally, I hope to encourage a lifelong appreciation and love of the arts. Developing happy, well-rounded kids is my ultimate goal. In writing Math-terpieces, I have taken a cue from the masters in trying to think more independently and creatively about teaching math. I hope kids will be challenged by the problems, enlightened by the poems, and inspired by the beauty and diversity of the art. Who says math has to be dull? Enjoy. Greg Tang. So this book has great potential to be used in multiple content areas. There is, of course, the obvious connection for elementary math. Also, the rhyming couplets could be used in a study of poetry, but here are 4 specific ways that you might use this book in the content area of art.